Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me in another video. So as you can tell, based on the title today, we are talking about the Row Summer 2024 collection. I did a whole video analyzing this collection as a whole when we saw it on the runway. So if you want to check out that video, there was a thorough analysis I did on that collection. So please check it out. But now we are actually seeing the products available online, in store, or they're now available for pre-order. If there are some items that you've been looking at that perhaps were always out of stock, I would say check the website now if you can. In today's video, I thought we would focus on handbags, and then at the end I will do what I've been doing my past few videos. I'll talk about my 5 favorite investment, in quotations, like investment wardrobe investment pieces, as well as my 5 favorite splurges of money is no object kind of pieces. I know a lot of you guys really like handbags. We'll talk about the bags. Now the thing about the Rose bags is I really do feel like there is a very large spectrum when it comes to pricing, styles, as well as what we are seeing available in this collection. We have some, I don't want to say like affordable, if you know what I mean. We know what to expect with the Row, but what I like about the Row is they do have a great range. The brand has really expanded and their offering is quite vast, which is really nice. So I think the consumer has a lot of choices. So I thought we just go from low to high as I've done some of these videos in the past before. The first 2 items, I'm not going to classify them as typical handbags because I wouldn't say they're not even in the handbag category, but I just want to mention them. The first item I want to talk about is the Row belt pouch. Now again, this isn't like a typical handbag, it's more like a pouch. They do these kinds of square rectangular pouches with like a little strap, but what I like about this is the way it's styled. We're seeing it tied like a belt. Now one stylistic thing the Row has been doing has been using these very thin, slim cords on belts, as opposed to like a chunky belt like this. Like it would just be like a really thin little cord. You could dress up whatever, your jacket, your belt, your cardigan, whatever it is. You could obviously use this as a clutch. Clutches are very present, even in their fall winter collections that we've seen the presence of the clutches there. So I just kind of wanted to bring this up. We also have the sporty pouch. You could probably classify it as an SLG. One thing that was very prominent in this collection was we saw a lot of casual sporty looks in this collection, a lot of nylon. It's in this tubular shape with a drawstring and it's got a little metal engraving of the logo. It's just ever so slightly there. It's kind of that sporty pouch look. It very much is in line with the themes around this collection. Next we have the ever so famous 90s bag. This is available for pre-order in the colors black, light, yellow, ice, and dark brown. It's expected to ship on May 17th. You know, these sell very quickly. So if you really like the color offering in any of these, if you're looking to try out the Row, but maybe you don't want to buy the Margaux, it's quite expensive, and some of these other bags are quite expensive. This can fit a phone, this can fit all of your essentials. Again, it's that kind of like tubular shape. These bags actually hold quite a bit, more than you would expect than a lot of these little mini pochette, tiny little pouch bags. It's very popular for good reason. I like to use it as a catch-all slash if I don't necessarily want a bigger bag, but I want all of my essentials in one thing. This with my Margaux, it's kind of just like the perfect combination. The next bag that I want to talk about isn't necessarily a new bag, but it's a new color. So we're seeing this small park tote. This is going for $12.90 in the color dark olive. It's that very classic, cute little tote. What I really like about this version of the park tote is it does have that longer strap. If you like those kind of little tote bags, definitely one to consider. We're also seeing the small park tote in new colors, rust, dark olive, and marine. Another style that we have here is the sporty backpack in nylon. Again, this collection had a lot of sporty elements, a lot of nylon coats, nylon jackets. This kind of backpack definitely goes with that sort of sporty vibe. Next, we have this Mel clutch. I really like this, guys. I think this is like really cute actually. So we have this in black, ruby, and marine. It can also go up to $9,700 in the alligator. The Row does these very polished looking clutches. Next we have the Pim bag in leather. The leather on this just looks the softest, smushiest. I can just picture someone like Kendall Jenner or Jennifer Lawrence wearing this just in the most off-duty way, like walking their dogs. Next we have the small north-south hook tote in leather. Very similar to the park tote. Here we have it in that grained calf skin in ivory and black. This is available for pre-order. This is in that same family of the park tote, but it's just got this small detail that probably no one else would notice, but if you're following the Row, you're like, oh, that's totally different. It's going for $16.70. Next, we have the medium north-south park tote in leather. Obviously, we've seen this handbag before, but now we're seeing it in olive, marine, and rust. as well as other Park Tote iterations, the Park Tote 3 and the extra large Park Tote. Also a new color, Sabia, as well as Cypress. How beautiful is this green, guys? Next we have the Angie, or the Angie, I don't know how to say this, Angie shoulder bag in leather. We've seen this style before, but it's now in the color dark brown and ice. I really like this color ice, by the way. We also now have, correct me if I'm wrong here, but when I was just looking at the new arrival section, maybe I just never noticed this before, but I noticed that the Rose Sophia, it looks like there's this new leather, and I just noticed this throughout the collection in general, and it's called kid skin leather. I've actually seen the Rose Sophia previously come out in a grain leather that was similar to the kind of grained leather that was on the Margaux in a more kind of like mattified way, but this leather, it looks like it has more of a subtle sheen to it in contrast to my Sophia, which is more satinated leather. The thing that I think a lot of people were always scared about with the Sophia was the leather seemed a little bit too delicate. I would be curious to see what this leather is like in person, because this might be a little bit more durable, but it still has a bit of a sheen, which I think works with this bag. The thing about when I've seen the Rose Sophia in the kind of mattified leather that the Margaux grain typically comes in, I think that leather works in like a slouchier style, but because this is more of that like structured top handle kind of lady vibe, this might be more effective. I also love this Amaranto color. Next we have this Belvedere tote in leather. We have that beautiful cypress color, brandy black coffee. This is $3,700. I feel like the jump from the Rose Sophia is $3,500, but I feel like the previous handbags, most of them, with the exception of the larger Park Totes, a lot of those bags were just under the $2,500, $2,000 price point. I noticed there is this jump that happens with these bags. This next style I absolutely love. This is the Sunset Clutch. So this is going for $39.90. It's a hand woven calfskin leather bag. The way it's woven and that texture, that three-dimensionality of it, I think is so beautiful. Like that like zipper, just that accented detail. Next we have the Mara tote bag in leather. Comes in silver and gold. It's a hand woven tote bag with Napa leather, especially in the silver, reminds me of barbed wire or something. I would just love to see this bag in the wild and see who this person is and how they're styling it. Next we have, of course, we saw this on the runway. It's the Margaux, but this is in the East-West Clutch version in leather. Here we have it in cypress, brandy, black. Honestly, I love the colors. I think the colors are really beautiful in this. For me personally, a clutch isn't the most practical for me, but I love how it was like styled on the runway, kind of like folded in a way. And that's one of the beautiful aspects I think about the Margaux. Kind of just has this beautiful slouch that I think goes so well with this whole collection. Next we have the Alexia bag. This bag is so cool. I love it. With the hook, again, this kind of like hook detailing, so unusual. And then the way it kind of like folds in, it's like a little fortune cookie. This price, it starts at $59.70 and you can spend all the way up to $18,000 on this bag if you want it in that beautiful ostrich. I am not in the tax bracket where I could spend $18,000 on a bag. I've never spent that much money on a handbag. There's something just so cool about this. It has this transformational quality, but it will also mold to your body. If you like that more minimal vibe and you have that kind of cash to spend, this is that bag. I can only imagine the leather is heavenly. So yes, those are the handbags. But now let's talk about 5. I'm gonna like say this in quotations with an asterisk. When I say investment, obviously we don't mean investment. Some of these items more so than others are a little bit more approachable. Now when it comes to bags, I like a lot of handbags. Now I really still think the 90s bag is a great price point. You're looking to try the brand. Again, I think the Park Tote's super popular for good reason. I know a lot of people really love that bag. The 90s or the Park Tote, either or are good bags. I love the 90s because I use it almost on an everyday basis. I also do really like the Row belt pouch bag, but if you're looking for that first piece, I would say if you can get the 90s bag and you're seeing this video and you can pre-order it, I would go for that. So the next item I absolutely love. I remember when I saw this piece on the runway and I was like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely stunning. And this is the Aria top. It starts at $11.90 in the cotton now. If you want it in that vibrant blue, it does go up based on the material. The next item I really like is something I wasn't able to really see at like a detailed level from the collection, but now seeing it based on the website, I wouldn't say this is something you would necessarily wear every day. You would wear this in a costume jewelry kind of manner, but these are the flower earrings. These are going for $650. I love the silver. These are made of brass. They're not solid gold or anything like that. I don't know. There's something about the silver I really like. They're hand painted. That gold bronze is very nice as well. I'm going to assume this is jewelry that you wouldn't want to wear in the shower on an everyday basis. There's something nice about these, and I don't think they're like that offensive of a price point. There's something a little bit more artisanal with like that hand painted element. I just think these are so pretty for spring. Next item I love now, if I'm going to be honest, is this worth $13.50 in terms of the materials? No. Maybe this is just where my mind is at right now, but I'm looking for these easy, chill, minimal summer dresses right now, and I feel like that this is what my wardrobe is lacking. And I really like this Lydia dress, 100% silk. I was looking at another sleeveless silk dress for $5,200, so price jump quite high. And this dress probably has more construction to it, lining, material, fabric, things like that. I'm not gonna lie, I will probably see if this goes in the sale, and if it does, I might pick it up. I've been looking at dresses from other brands. This is just me, what's on my kind of radar at the moment. Another item I really like are these Ari hats. And we saw these hats on the runway. There's something very extremely modern, minimal. The row has the ability to take almost like silhouettes that are seemingly from the past and modernize them, like those kind of cloche hats that seem very old-fashioned, but the way the row does it, they modernize it. I could definitely see if you're somebody that likes to dress in a high-low kind of way, but you want to capture the vibes of this and you like this kind of look, I definitely think this is a piece to consider. So now when it came to my 5 splurges, so I was heavily considering getting one of these items, but I stopped myself, and then when I checked back on the website later on today, it sold out at my size, so maybe it's a good thing. And I think it's because I don't feel that comfortable spending this kind of money on an item like this, just because to me it's quite expensive. And I've spent more money on shoes previously, but these are the Mara flats in vinyl. Money doesn't mean anything. $890 for these vinyl shoes that are selling out quite quickly. This is very much what's in fashion right now, these kind of mesh shoes. Now I will have to give it to the row, and I think the Financial Times article had mentioned this when they interviewed the row about how like the row have been doing these mesh shoes for years and years and years. There's something very playful about these that I really like. I wouldn't necessarily know if I would call these an investment. To me, these would be like a fun piece, a splurge, a trend. I really do like them. Honestly, maybe if I catch them on another website, I might splurge on these, but I really do like these. I'm not gonna lie. Another splurge piece, if money meant nothing, I would have purchased this. And this is the Jerome jacket in silk. Oh my gosh, like right now, I was recently talking about how I've been saving evening jackets, like very vintage, old-fashioned, in quotations, evening jackets from the past with details like this. But I think this is absolutely beautiful. It's $44.50. I feel like you could have this for years and years and years. It also comes in a black, but there's something about the white I just really love. Now, one thing that we saw throughout this collection was this theme of, I want to say almost raincoat, poncho jackets. A lot of them were going for like $2,000, $3,000, which if you had all of the money in the world, you could get sort of that sort of same silhouette in a cashmere iteration. So this is the Rienelle coat. Now this is something you can get only in store. I noticed for a lot of these special cashmere coats, they're almost always in-store options. Again, pair this with that little sort of bucket bell-shaped hat, and you kind of have the vibe of this collection. The next bag I would consider, if money were no object, and I had the kind of lifestyle, but I just don't, so this is just totally a fantasy. That's what this list is. I love the sunset clutch. I don't know why. That really tight woven weave I think is really nice. I really like that. And of course I always love, you know, the Margaux, of course. I also really like the Alexia bag. And then my final splurge is kind of unexpected, but I absolutely love it. It's this Scipio top in silk. I love this. It's in this very bright, vibrant yellow. I don't even know if this would necessarily look good on me. I don't know, guys, like I just love it. I just love the asymmetry of it. Again, similar to the blue top that we saw on the runway, but if you wanted to sort of like splurge on a top, I really love this one. I love the shape, the silhouette, the draping. This bright yellow really stands out, and I think it's really nice for the spring summer season. So yeah, there's that. Anyways, guys, that is my video. There's a lot of really beautiful things from this collection. These were just my selected picks. Again, I did the whole review on this collection collection when it came out. There's so many gorgeous pieces. I'm just kind of scratching the surface here. The more I'm looking at these, do I need those Mara flats? I don't know. Again, they're very trendy. They're very of the now, but I also feel like the Row has been doing these mesh shoes. It's just very on brand for them. To me, the appeal of the Row is when they can have those like very intriguing pieces that are also in line with that minimal aesthetic. The other piece that really spoke to me was also the Aria top, that very asymmetrical drapey top. The shoes and the top were kind of my favorites, I would have to say. The items that I was potentially most interested in buying. Anyways, that is my review. And was there anything from this latest drop you were considering or hoping to purchase? Anyways, thank you so much for joining me in another one, and I hope to see you in the next one.